This is the podcast overview for week 9, where we will be covering chapter 9, using health services. So here's your to-do list for this week. Here are your objectives. And again, to get an overview of these objectives, you can click right here. And I go through each one, kind of focusing on key things to be looking for throughout your reading of the chapter. You have your lecture slides here that you can use to follow along with your reading of the chapter. I also have a video that I've included this week on alternative medicine. So that's a big portion of the reading in the chapter, covers this area of complementary and alternative medicine and the ways in which it's delivered, what it looks like, what the different modalities are of alternative medicine, which basically just means modes of delivering treatment that are non-traditional. So if you can watch the video, I've attached some questions. I am not collecting these questions. It's merely a worksheet for you to make sure that you get all the key points from the video. And it will also be pretty handy to study with for the test, which will cover alternative medicine. If we go back up here and look, CAME is complementary, alternative, and integrative medicine. And there's several areas in the chapter that talk about this. So this video is really nice in that it covers a lot of those areas and will answer some questions maybe that you might have from the reading. So there's the video, and then this week's discussion centers around chapter 9 of the Longevity Project. And this week it has to do with marriage. So I realize that not most of you are married, maybe not any of you. So you can use a parent or a relative or parents of a friend, just as long as they are married. You can have them fill out the assessment and score them, and then follow the instructions that come with the assessment in interpreting their score. I'd rather you not use your dating relationship because as much as you'd like to think, it's not the same as marriage, and I really don't think it should ever be put on par with marriage. Dating is completely different, even if you are living together. And I know because I've been there, I've done that. So I'd rather you choose a couple who is married. So be thinking about who that's going to be for you. And then you can go ahead and give them the assessment. And then you're going to answer the questions that have to do with the Terman data and the termites. For them, what was found about being married that promoted health? And what were some gender differences that popped out? So for men and women, there were different effects in how marriage related to one's health and longevity. And you might even describe what the differences were between the varied groups. So in the Terman data, they looked at individuals who were remarried. How did they fare? They looked at those who were married the whole time. How did they fare? Those who were single the whole time, and those who got divorced. And so we'll be comparing and contrasting those groups with one another, as well as comparing and contrasting men and women. And so using lots of examples is good here of the termites to help illustrate your points. And then lastly, how does personality factor into marriage, divorce, and longevity? Specifically use examples from the termites to support your points there. Okay, so that concludes the discussion. There's no tests this week. So that is it for week 9. And of course, please let me know if you have any questions about the week. I've posted a couple different opportunities for extra credit, so take advantage of those. They don't always come by often. I usually give 2 to 3 throughout the semester chances for you to gain extra credit. I will likely have another one coming later this week. I have a student who's collecting some data, so she's doing a survey online that you could participate in. But when you see those opportunities, grab them, because once they're gone, they're gone. Most students who are collecting data and are inviting people to participate, they only collect the data for a couple of weeks, and then they're done. So that window is short in which you have to participate. So there's that. I also posted some resources as an announcement on the main page about some workshops that the Bonacos Center is offering for studying, note-taking, test-taking, some really helpful brief Zoom-based workshops where you can get some help zoning in on some study habits and some things that might help improve your online learning experience. I know that some of you are struggling with the online structure and the format. Just the independence of online learning can be tough. It's very self-guided. It's very user initiated. So, if you're used to being in a traditional classroom where the teacher walks you through everything, online learning is a little different from that. Whereas you have everything here at your disposal, but it's up to you, the student, to work through it and go through it and do the readings and do the assignments, ask appropriate questions. And so, this is something that comes easier for some than others. I think online learning can really be a great experience for many students, but it might take some time to get used to that type of a platform. So I really encourage you to take advantage of those workshops. They will help you. So just go to the announcements part of the class, and you can find out what's being offered and when, and there's a link where you can sign up. And all the extra credit is there too in the announcements, so you can go back into there and see if there's something you might like to do. But that wraps it up for week 9. Thank you guys.